guys, this is Simran. I'm making this video because I'm in Italy right now. I've been here for the last 36 hours. If you didn't know that, now you know. I'm in Rome. And I have been taking observations down in my notebook over the last 2 days. So this is today and this is yesterday. And they're literally just like plain observations of things that I've noticed and things I wanted to remember. I thought I would share because Italy is like a lot of people's dream to go. And I think I'll do this throughout my trip every so often. I'll be here for 2 weeks exactly. So I've been here for, like I said, 36 hours. I just landed yesterday morning. I've done a lot of touristy things so far, and there's more touristy things to come. But not only just the touristy things, but some random things that I really like don't need to highlight. It's interesting to me how there's a whole another way of life in a country that I don't even know. You never realize how different America is until you go, and it's just such a big culture shock. And so basically, I wanted to highlight that. And the reason I'm using a mic is because the laundry is running in the Airbnb and it's loud. Italy's a late city. People are up all night, all hours of the night. And so you can hear some things from the window outside. So that's why another reason why I'm using the mic. We'll start with yesterday when I landed. The airport is, first of all, about an hour and a half west of Rome. And it's really similar to LAX with the terminals kind of being outside. You have to kind of walk outside to get to each one. It's very clearly a hotspot because the traffic there is insane. Almost always. We were talking to the driver. He said there's never a slow time. The trees look like broccoli upon landing, and I thought that was really cool. It's kind of like a grove almost. The drivers are very fast. Like very fast. They drive as if they know what's going to happen. They drive as if they know we're going to be okay. Like they drive super confidently, which is good, but it's not always good. The highways appear the same, everything else is the same, but these drivers are just really fast. There were a lot of solar panels, like a lot more than one might think. They also looked a lot older than what the American solar panels look like, which makes me think that they had them more commonly before we did. Also, a lot of the roof shingles aren't flat. They are kind of like curves like this, like this, like how you might see them in like southwestern like Arizona, New Mexico housing structures. That region, like how those are kind of curved structures, like you know how you see in the movies with like there's a cactus and there's a house and the house has like curved shingles like that. A lot of that here. Mostly that here. If the roof isn't flat, it's probably like that. The license plate starts with 2 letters and then there's a combination of 5 like letters or numbers. It's cool to be in a country where the language is something so unbeknownst to me because it's kind of fun for me to try and figure out what the sign is trying to say. And I feel like it's not that hard. It's derived from Latin, so is English, and it's you can figure it out pretty easily. Italy has a president, not a prime minister, not like a that guy. Like it's the president, and I'm curious to know what their political system is like. But I don't think I'm going to do too much research on it because I just don't really have that big of an interest. But I am curious to know like what the sides are, kind of what they stand for, kind of thing. There are double decker buses, just like in London, which I've been to twice, and the cars are really small. There's more two-seaters than four-seaters. The parallel parking here is probably like the most. Now that I think about it, I haven't seen any parking lots here. The cars are really small. The cars are really small, and there's a ton of Lime scooters and like those bird scooters, a ton of those. So this is everything I noticed between leaving the airport and getting to the Airbnb and taking a nap. Starting now, this is after I've gone to the Coliseum, after I've had some coffee, after we've eaten dinner. The Coliseum is 100% a tourist spot. And we are staying in an Airbnb about a 10-minute walk away, less than that. And on the way there, it's the same way it is in Miami, where people will stand outside of the restaurant and kind of like say, like, hey, beautiful, or like, come on in, like, table for two, like that. They'll try and bring you in. But we have made it kind of a point to try and not to go to those places because they're tourist traps. I don't want to say trap because I don't know what the trap is other than making us spend a lot of money. The weather is pretty 50-50 here, I would say. During the day, it gets pretty warm. The sun is shining, but it can do a quick 180 real fast. I would say gets hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. So definitely layer up. One thing I noticed based off of the pizza that I've eaten so far is that the bread, sauce, and cheese is all fresh. Like it's all ready. Like they made that shit from scratch. Super good. The bread, like the focaccia or whatever bread it is, really good. The sauce, so good. And the cheese, like the mozzarella, like amazing. So the pizza in America just does not add up. There's a big stigma around Italians pickpocketing. I feel like I didn't really feel threatened at all. Yesterday, I didn't have a bag. I bought this white leather bag today. I just feel like I haven't felt any threat or anything. I'm not carrying my passport around with me, but there was just a huge thing about like people in Italy getting pickpocketed all the time. So me and my mom and dad are trying to be really careful. But I feel like it was over dramatized and I'm just not really feeling the fear about that. Okay, so that was all yesterday, about 11 hours. Today I've been out of the house since 10:30 and I got home at 9:30. So I've been out of the house for 11 hours. So let me read you my observations. Time moves really, really slowly in Italy, like really slowly. People here value the quality of life over a schedule, which is so, so nice. The system is this: if you're going to eat something, if you're taking it to go, you order, you grab your stuff immediately, you finish it off, and then you go, or you take it to go. If you're eating, you don't even go inside the restaurant. Like if you're sitting like for here, you don't even go inside the restaurant. You just sit at the table and the waiter comes and he'll help you out and everything. Takes your sweet ass time. You're not supposed to go up to them and say, "Okay, I'm going to pay." You're not supposed to be like, "Where's my food?" You're not supposed to be like, "Can I have this?" Like it's slow. Today my mom and I were at a bakery and we went inside. Of course, it's our second day here. We're not 100% sure how all this works just yet. So we went inside this bakery and I'm like, okay, can I have a pistachio croissant and a cappuccino? My mom's like, I'll have a cappuccino. He's like, okay, to go? Because he's expecting, because we came in, so he's expecting us to go. I'm like, no, for here. He said, okay, go sit outside. So we went and sat outside. We sat down. We finished off, and then my dad came, and my dad was like, are you guys ready to go? And we were like, yeah. And then he's like, okay, I'll go pay. And I'm like, I don't think you're supposed to go up and pay. He's going to bring you the bill. That's just the custom here. And then the guy kind of talked to us and he was like, it's disrespectful to the waiter if you go do it yourself because that's our job, kind of thing. So, like, don't do that. Just wait. Like, just be patient. So, that was one huge thing because in America, it's very like go, go, go. Like, try to get people in and out of the restaurant. It's like a 30-minute turnaround, 30-minute window. But here, it's very like, lunches will take 2 hours on average. That's not what America is like. I cannot remember the last time I took 2 hours to eat a meal. But I feel like if I were here and if it was just the way of life and the way I had been living, I would be used to it. I dropped something off at the post office for one of my friends. I sent something to her. So this is what it was like. It was kind of like how at the DMV you have like numbers that you have to pull your number and you have to wait. So I pulled my number and I sat down. I didn't know that they had cents. They have 20 euro, like 5 euro. They have euro amounts, like dollars, and then they have cents. So they had a 2 euro coin and then 20-cent coins. So my stamps were 2 euros, and then I gave five, and I got kind of 2.40 in return. Okay, after doing all the stuff in the morning, we went to the Foro Romano in Palatino, which is right next to the Colosseum. The Foro Romano is where they would kind of enjoy their time, and they would have like symposiums, and they would have like farmers market kind of vibe, and like it was like their main form of entertainment, and it was huge. Like it was ginormous. My feet were in so much pain. They are in so much pain. But as you walk, you'll notice the streets are cobblestone. And you know this going into Italy. Like that's something you know in a lot of Europe, the streets are cobblestone. But something I noticed in particular was that the gaps around the cobblestone were filled with like concrete. What I'm assuming happened is they filled the street with concrete way back when like not even way back when, like 1900s. They filled the street with cobblestone. It wore down and people started being like, this is actually really sick. Or they filled the concrete around the cobblestone to make it easier for people to walk. Because if you're walking on cobblestone where there isn't concrete, it's kind of hard. I mean, it's not that hard, but it's like, okay, I have to watch where I'm going so I don't slip. So I think that's why, because it's such a big tourist spot, and the cobblestone, while it's very cool to see, it is not the main attraction, which is why it is okay if it's not really that original. It was also just really cool to see the Forum Romano because when was this? 42 AD? And it's still here. Like, of course, the remains, a lot of it has gotten destroyed over time, but like, it was just really cool to see and be like, motherfuckers was here. Like, I'm standing where this person probably stood at some point. It was just insane to think about. It was just crazy. The weather app lies in the sense that the weather app said it would be cloudy the whole day and it was so fucking sunny. Yesterday, it was kind of chilly. I was wearing a half sleeve t-shirt and linen pants and my leather jacket and I was like, "Ooh, I'm kind of cold. I'm going to dress warm tomorrow." Today I wore long jeans, a long sleeve t-shirt, and my jacket and it was fucking hot. I was sweating my ass off. I was like, today would have been a good day to wear short sleeve and linen, but never mind. Hydration is so important. I wish I brought liquid IVs with me. Luckily, something I love, and I don't know if this is in other countries in Europe, but they have like these water pumps outside just on the street and it's so clean. The water is so refreshing. It tastes so good. And they just have this shit like this ready. It's so tough. It's ready to go, bro. It's actually ready to go. So we have our two water bottles, my water bottle and my mom's. And so we've just been filling them up whenever we go. I chugged like all like I think I personally drank like 50 ounces of water today. But if I were you, I would definitely bring liquid IV because at the end of the night, early in the morning, hydration is key. And oftentimes it's easy to forget. Coffee is such a big thing here that it's often easy to forget that you need to stay hydrated with water too. Also, another note, I haven't seen any matcha here. So if you're a matcha person, I'm sorry about that. I also think it's cool that the open water stations, because they're in the public, anybody that's like homeless or like doesn't have easy access to water can get some. So where we're staying is the kind of near the Coliseum. It's about a 15-20 minute walk away from downtown Rome, where that big ass fountain is and the Parthenon. We're about 15-20 minute walk away from there. Where we are now is definitely busy. Near the Coliseum, tourist spot, all these restaurants, like some of these bars and like everything, it's busy. Downtown Rome is something else. There's so many stores there, so many people there. Traffic is insane. I thought where we were was downtown. I was like, oh, this is cute. It's chill. You go there, it's a whole nother story. A whole nother story. And when I was packing here, my dad was like, don't bring a heavy suitcase. It's good. The streets are going to be cobblestone. And when I came here, they are not. They're paved. When I got to downtown Rome, they're mostly all cobblestone. Be wary of that. If you're staying in like the downtown Rome area near that big ass fountain, Piazza dei Tevi, you should not bring a heavy ass bag because there's a lot of cobblestone. Unless you're fine with it, then you're good. So the Coliseum has 15 to 16,000 people per day. The Piazza dei Tevi felt like that many people. Literally, we got there and we were like, yeah, there's no way we're standing in this line. It was really long and there were a ton of people with their phones out. So we tried to make our way to the front and we're like, hey, this is not working. We turn around, we're trying to go back, and it's like hell trying to get through every single person. Like it was so busy. And we went at like 1 p.m. We didn't even go that late. We didn't even go that early, but it was insanely busy. On social media, everyone's like, oh, you should go early, like go at 9 a.m. when it opens. I'm not going to do that now because everybody's going to see that on social media and go at 9 a.m. I've also seen people be like, go at 1 a.m., go at 3 a.m. Bro, I'm with my parents. I'm not going. I'm also just slowly getting over my jet lag. So almost done. Second to last point, McDonald's here has a McBakery and a lot of coffee options, unlike the US. When we went into McDonald's, I wanted to see like what they had. They have so much coffee. They have so much coffee. I got a double espresso shot and my mom got a chamomile tea. And they have a whole bakery with like macaroons and croissants and like donuts. Where is that in America? All we have is apple pie and cookies. I was like, this McDonald's didn't have a negative stigma around it the way the ones in America do. Last point, let's talk about bargaining. So I got one of these like paintings these guys were painting outside of the Coliseum. He was like, it's 20 euros. I'm like, I'll do 10. was like 15. I was like 12. I pull out some money. I'm like, I don't have 10 euros. I have two, but I don't have, like, I have a coin, but I don't have a 10 euro bill. I have a 20. He said, okay, I'll just give it to you for 10. So I got it for what I wanted. So that was easy. When I went to go get this leather bag, this was 45 euros, which is around like 50-ish dollars. When I went to get this bag, I went to the second store and I wanted one that was engraved, but that was like $300, so I wasn't going to do that. And so I got this bag and I was kind of like, will you give it to me for 30? She was like, the price is non-negotiable. I was like, are you sure? Because you know that napkin theory where if somebody asks you for a second napkin, you say, are you sure? And they're like, nah, never mind, I actually don't need it. I was like, are you sure? She's like, yes, I'm sure. So I was like, so I didn't negotiate with her. But I tried, and I don't think that it would have happened anyways because this was clearly not her store. And where I got it from was a hot tourist area, and so they definitely deal with tourists all the time. So they're like, we don't need to negotiate with you because we're gonna make the same amount of money in the next 5 minutes anyways. To be honest, I really wanted it. That's why I just got it there. But at first I was like, did I just get scammed? Should I not have gotten it from here? But we went a little further away and I checked the price at a store and it was like the same price. So I was like, okay, it's probably fine. It's important to spend money on things you're going to use. For example, half of what I spent my money on today are like gifts for people. I'm not even kidding. Like they're gifts. And then like the other half was just food. I'm also not buying anything that I'm going to not use or have within like after 6 months. Like I've never owned a light colored bag before. I always opt for a dark kind of shade. And so I did see this and I was like, it's gonna get dirty, like no. But I was like, you know what? No, like I always get black, purple bags, whatever. I'm gonna get something lighter. And then I also got this today to kind of match my bag. And then I got, like I said, some gifts. So far, like, it's nice to be here. It's nice to be on vacation. And it's nice to be in a country where I don't know shit. I do wish I did a little bit more research about, like, the customs and etiquette because I feel like a dumb ass American when there's like a customary thing that I don't know, or when I walk in and someone says ciao, and I'm just like, hello. Like, I just feel stupid. Like, if somebody were to come to America and I said hello and they said hello in their language, I don't know. I just feel like people have a stigma about Americans kind of being like they only care about themselves. And so that's why I'm just trying my hardest to be kind. And I feel like people can tell also. But today when I walked into the bag store, I was like, how could you tell I was American? She said, I didn't know you were American until you said hello. And I was like, oh, okay. She's like, are you American Mexican? I was like, no, I'm Indian. And then my dad walks in and she looks at me, she goes, Poppy? I was like, that's my dad. Yep. Maybe I'm ethnically ambiguous. Top three things I learned. Coffee culture here is big. Pack good walking shoes. Stay hydrated. Oh, number four, let your credit card know you're going on a trip if you are going on a trip. That is my first little recap of things that I've learned, things that I've enjoyed, things I maybe haven't enjoyed too much. Um, but like I said, this is my first time in Italy. It's a learning curve because you're not just going to pick things up. You're not going to pick up the culture. You're not going to pick up the customs as soon as you walk into the country. But you have to be open to the experience because if you're not open to the experience, you're not going to have fun. I'm trying to do as much as I can, trying many different types of foods. I'm going to do what I want to do when I want to do it here because I think that's the best way to live through a country. I think that's the best way to experience a country is just to do everything. Of course, with due time, like I'm not going out of the house at 3 a.m. and trying to meet a bunch of people. But I think that you really have to be like all in when you go to a foreign country, especially one that doesn't speak the same language as you. The UK is different, Canada's different, Australia is different. But like Italy, like France, Spain, you don't know the language. You don't know the customs. They're so much more different. The etiquette. You can't be rude in a different country. And people think they're so entitled too when they are at a different country. Like, why don't you speak English? You're in my homeland. That's what my thoughts are. But I hope you guys enjoyed my little recap. I kind of went on a tangent there at the end, but keep your eye out for another video from me sometime soon. Also, I deleted Instagram, but I still have TikTok and I post there a lot. So if you didn't know that, think you should go check that out. Bye.